It sort of reminds me of a Tom Clancy novel. You don't really suppose any of this could be true, do you? Welcome back to Far Beyond. This is a report on current and possible near-future events. It's based on my research of multiple videos, intel, posts, news releases, all from the land of Anons, which is a group of ethnic enclaves living in the nation of Fratrum. By the way, that is the Latin spelling. Fratrum has long enjoyed a reputation as the greatest nation in the world, a place where different groups of people have lived in peace and harmony for centuries. However, things have changed. For some time now, the nation of Fratrum has been divided. About half of the population became infected as a terrible disease swept across the globe. It is a progressive and in most cases chronic disease. Though there have been some cases of recovery from it, it is usually fatal. This disease leaves its victims severely incapacitated, unable to tell right from wrong. Their world turns inside out. They become confused as they can find no meaning, purpose, or reason for their very existence. They are driven mad. They seek to destroy everything, especially that in which they see the others finding happiness and meaning. They engage in violence, destroy property, and endanger the lives of others. More than anything, they despise truth. They seek to destroy it by burying it under a constant stream of lies. This disease is called luciferosis and was first identified by a famous seer of the Petrines, also called the Romans, since their beliefs go back to the days of the Romans. They, along with the Anons and several other groups, such as the Patriots, known as the Pats, comprise the alliance. Those infected are the opposers, also comprised of several subgroups. They are also called the baddies. It was Sister Lucia of the Petrines who first called out this disease and warned of the coming worldwide disaster.
Born on March 28, 1907, Lucia de Jesus Rosa de Santos lived a very long life until the age of 97 when she died on February 13, 2005. In a letter to her Salesian nephew, Father Jose Valenho, she writes, "I see by your letter that you are preoccupied by the disorientation of our time. It is indeed sad that so many persons let themselves be dominated by the diabolical wave sweeping over the world, and that they are blinded to the point of being incapable of seeing error.
Sadly, not enough listened, as years earlier our Blessed Mother gave her and the world the prevention and cure, the Rosary. So the situation at present? There is an election to choose the leader of the nation on November 3rd. The candidates from the Alliance Party are, for President, King Maximus, and Vice President, Viceroy Penny. The opposers' candidates are, for President, Joe Bleedham, and for Vice, Pamela Scaras. The world has seen many different ages, my friends. The age of reason, the age of enlightenment, the industrial age, space age, the age of Aquarius, and presently the age of censorship. The baddies have banned many words and phrases. Why, they even banned one letter of the alphabet. I can't even tell you which one it is. So you have to use your imagination, kind of think it out. Got that? Just kind of figure it out. So comms in the land of Anons is carried out by the Intel Anons, led by the mysterious figure known only as Key Anon. It is necessary to decode and enjoin the fragments and clues ripe with metaphors to receive the messages. This is done by the wise ones of the Petrine enclave and then disseminated. It's necessary to keep the good people of the alliance from being deceived because the opposers long ago took control of all media. It's all lies all the time. The comms so far tell a story of an assassination attempt on President King while in the Rose Garden to nominate a woman to the Supreme Court. There were no members of the opposers' party present. Several days after, the president fell ill. In just 6 days, 34 members of the Alliance Party who were present also fell ill. Anons tell us it was a targeted bioweapon attack. This was confirmed by Key Anon himself. The story is that 2 weeks earlier, Nasty Piglousy, the opposer's Speaker of the House, furious over the intended nomination of a religious woman to the Supreme Court, gave a press conference and stated, "We have several arrows in my quiver," to indicate her resolve to fight against the president and his choice. QAnon produced this picture. Underneath arrows labeled impeachment, riots, and mobs was the label COVID arrow. So the Anons knew it was a plot to take out their president. President King recovered in 2 days. The miraculous recovery cheered the members of the alliance, who mostly are very religious and have long believed that King Maximus to be especially sent by God, and the fulfillment of ancient Petrine prophecies. Other signs that led the Anons to know it was an attempt on their president's life prior to Key confirming this fact was that 5 minutes before announcing their president was ill, 4 doomsday planes flew the coastline of Fratrum. Usually there will be 1, sometimes 2, but never 4. Then, after entering Walter Reed Hospital, he was secreted away to a plane. A video said to be made in the hospital presidential suite was rather cabin-like in appearance. Anons showed by drawing lines across the knobs on cabinets that if you watched carefully, they bobbed up and down, showing and proving he was not on terra firma the whole time. Then on 10/10, Key confirmed the COVID arrow. Secret Service was definitely keeping him safe and keeping his location quiet. But according to QAnon, the danger is not over, but escalating. To Nasty's quiver comment, Key replied, "Never bring an arrow to an LOSBR missile fight." Key then said, "Keep firing, nasty." Then Key reminded Intel Anons of when they, the liars, another nickname for the opposer party, when they, the liars, looking at a fired missile, told everyone it's just a helicopter. Well, time for some background. We need to recall some previous Anon press releases. According to these, in June of 2018, there was another assassination attempt on their dear president when a missile was fired at Air Force One from Whidley Naval Station, according to the key Anon files. Though there are no missile capabilities at Whidley Naval Station. In August, a launch pad was discovered hidden on an island just a few miles away, and a stolen plane from the Seattle airport was flown and crashed into a secreted launch pad, destroying it. QAnon said this was a covert mission by the military branch of the Anons known as the White Hats. QAnon then showed a picture of a decommissioned submarine, implying this sub is still viable and being used by the baddies military, or called the Black Hats, thereby signaling the meaning of a key Anon message, quote, "The hunt for the Red October," end quote. So they claim there's a missing submarine that's still out there. Phew! All of this is so weird, but what does this have to do with current events? Well, the Anons say that recent messages received from key Anon and decoded by the wise ones insist that the last arrow in Nasty's quiver represents another missile attack, and that this arrow may have something very bad on the tip of it, if you know what I mean. Either to target President Maximus or create a tragic national disaster. Goodies are on a level of high alert due to these recent messages. This state of high alert is in effect now until sometime after the election. This assassination attempt or / disaster, Nasty's arrow may be used to disrupt the election, to prevent an accurate counting due to extreme chaos and emergency conditions, during which it is highly suspected the baddies would be attempting to steal an election. Wow! QAnon revealed that publicizing this could decrease greatly the chances of this arrow being released. So baddies do not like their nefarious crimes brought to light. So the Anons printed up hundreds and hundreds of flyers, attaching them to storefronts, telephone poles, and broadcasting far and wide, warning all the citizens of Fratrum, especially important for all, and I did promise the Anons that I would help them to get the word out, because it is important for all to store up extra necessary supplies, food, water, medicines, baby formula. And for myself, I might add toilet paper, but then that's just me. Make sure all data on your computers is backed up and stored offline in case the internet should go down. Keep some extra cash available in case the ATM machines in your area are also not functioning. Yet the Alliance remains on alert, and they are a prayerful people. Key has sent a message back to the baddies and instructed all the members of the Alliance to, quote, put up the shield of faith, unquote. He wrote this, quote, in addition to all this, take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one, end quote. Wow, there's quite a bit of nefarious activity going on in the nation of Fratrum, but also some very, very strange things. A mysterious clock keeps appearing at odd places, with the hands not reflecting the true time, but rather marking out certain dates of unveiling evidence, proofs of the crimes committed by the leaders of the baddies. Remember, the opposers, victims of the disease of luciferosis, cannot tell right from wrong. Because they are unable to recognize this, they cannot recognize God's authority or any authority. They insist there is no crime, therefore they demand the abolition of police, courts, jails, etc. The Alliance is revealing all the proof in intervals. Indeed, some of the doctors and scientists of the Alliance hope that the shock might be able to reverse the course of the illness and help them overcome. But this remains only a theory. Time will tell. The mysterious clock, called the key clock, first appeared in late September, pointing to 10:10 with 8-minute marks marked off in red. At October 8th is when President Maximus declassified all of the documents containing the evidence of the horrible crimes committed by the baddies. And then on 10:10, like the hands of the clock showed, the long-lost emails of Hillary Hinton were revealed, containing evidence that she and then President Brock, oh damn you, were involved in the massacre and torture of citizens of Fratrum by refusing to send them help when under attack at a Fratrum consulate in Benghazi. In fact, the date 10:10 was chosen because it's the minute that the attack began. Next, the key clock has shown up behind Kayleigh, not an enemy, the Alliance press secretary. It again showed an inaccurate time, 11:04. The Anons are all abuzz. What big event is to occur the day after the election? Some Anons claim that the wise ones have predicted the arrest of Hillary Hinton herself. But myself, I wasn't able to reach one of the more respected of the wise ones for further comment. If this occurs, one can foresee great civil unrest, disruption of normal activity in society, possible emergency states, and a possible attempt on President Maximus's life. Good reason to repeat the warning. Make adjustments and preparations as needed. And now, that is the end of our report from the land of the Anons. You know, it sort of reminds me of a Tom Clancy novel. You don't really suppose any of this could be true, do you? I wonder. But you know, those Clancy novels had a strange way of being highly predictive of future events. Maybe we just better think about it. Thank you, and tune in again for our next report from the land of the Anons.